Jive and Honey, famous for nothing. And I've been really excited about today. We got a great guest coming on. And
I'm super excited. You can't see it, but I am.
A comedian, Kirsten Michelle Cills.
Kirsten.
I've said it 30 times to him to make sure
It's
that
a
it's
nightmare.
stuck. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's one of those names.
It's one of those fucking, that's a great way to say it, yeah.
Because I even I even corrected myself incorrectly.
No, it happens all the time. Yeah, Kier, like,
Kier.
Like if it helps, people
Yeah.
call me Kier, like, just as my name.
Kier.
If that helps, like, rhymes with beer.
Just around other people
good.
so that it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe they'll pick up on it and won't be uncomfortable when they fuck it up.
Yeah, trying to get it in their heads before it's too late, but apparently it was too late, so.
I tried, but it's like the Alzheimer's is setting in.
Yeah.
I found him staring at
just like
had a Joe Biden stare. I was like, uh-oh.
Jay, he reached out to you
Yeah.
and you wanted to come on. I was excited. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's a local comedian. I was like, all right, cool. Because, well, it's a local comedian who has a terminal illness and makes fun of it. I'm like, fuck hell yeah. Even better. Oh, my God, that's going to be great.
Yeah. Until, of course, this tracks with the pronunciation of your name as well. When he goes, yeah, I mean, she's like a CP comic. And I went, no, not CP.
This is before I knew about you. I'm painting me as an idiot. But yeah. It does track.
Like, oh, no, not like Facts of Life. Not like Jerry the CP comic.
No, yeah. No, I also sick reference.
If you Google it, there's a image of her from the show wearing a shirt that says, I'm not drunk, I have cerebral palsy.
That's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which in big Cooper Black puff letters.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that is aggressive for 80s television.
I was going to say for its time, yeah.
Yeah.
I do know a couple of like comics who do have CP and do, always have to make that joke off the bat about like, because everyone thinks they're drunk all the time or that they're fucked up. Yeah. It's got to be tough.
But you have the best tagline.
Oh, which is?
Terminally ill, terminally chill.
Terminally chill. Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I came across your stuff initially. Like I was trying to think what led me down that road. I couldn't figure it out, but when I saw that, I was like, man.
Thank you.
Excellent.
It's the funniest joke I ever wrote. It's not going up from here. So, yeah.
As a kid, were you like the class clown, funny kid?
Yeah, class clown's a funny word for it because I was never in class because I was always in the hospital. But I was.
Were you
I hope
Patch
you
Adams?
feel so bad right now. Wow.
Were you the funny kid in the hospital on the hallway?
Far and away funniest kid in the hospital. Yeah.
Not tough.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Very true.
It's a tough room. Man.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough room for sure. Yeah, it was always, you're always bombing because like nobody wants to laugh, So
Patch Adams shows up. You're like, what the fuck?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I was definitely always like always funny, but never saw it that like I don't think I got that it was funny as much as it was like to cheer people up,
Yeah.
People are always looking at you like, oh my gosh, you poor thing.
To get them out of that.
Yes, it's exhausting.
How quickly did you get sick of that?
Oh my god! I mean, it's hard to say because like I was born with this disease, so I think if I was diagnosed with it at some point, maybe I could identify a before and after. So I don't know necessarily what it's like for everyone else, but it's exhausting. Everyone's just so bummed around you all the time. It's just making it about themselves, and it's like respectfully grow up. Like,
I mean, it just goes to show like people will make it about themselves literally with anything.
Oh, big time. I always say like the job of a terminally ill person is just to make everyone around them feel comfortable about the fact that they're dying. Like I don't even people. Oh, are you sad? Like I've never gotten to be sad in my life. I'm just making everybody feel good because everybody's so bummed. It's so exhausting. Yeah, and people just want to. People like come to visit you a lot, and it always feels like they're trying to fabricate like a nice last moment with me. This could
be it. Oh man!
Right.
Seriously, like they exit like they're in a movie. I'm like, I hope you got something out of this. Like,
that's kind of. I mean, whoever commits to like it being the last time every time is kind of a great bit.
It is funny. Oh yeah, and I used to make jokes about that like early on about how like. people are really nice to me. Like, and I always just kind of thought, like,
shit.
damn, it's such a good world we live in.
They're so
I
kind.
don't get all the hate.
Yeah. Like, what kind of asshole would be an asshole to you?
Yeah, it's like, you know how, like, you know when those people who drive like a car that looks like a cop car, but it's not.
Yeah.
And so they have a really different idea of how everyone drives because everyone's on their best behavior around
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They're like, I've never seen Philly people breaking the laws because they think you're a fucking cop, dude. That's how I feel terminally ill. I'm just like, that person's always been nice to me.
I always complain. I'm complain.
yeah.
And I'm like, I can't complain today.
No, you can't. Yeah.
It's because I played basketball yesterday and I'm old and I can't feel below my waist.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I'm old and
Yeah.
and play basketball.
You're so brave, first of all. Yeah, I can't even imagine.
You're so brave. Thank you for your service.
You're so brave.
No,
I
had
see
to
it
take
going this way today.
I respect that you said openly, I'm a complainer, because that's such a. It's always the people who complain the most who are like, I'm not a complainer, but, and then they say the cuntiest thing you ever heard. Can I say cunt on here? Sorry. Okay,
Yeah. You were going to pick up on it pretty quickly that he was a complainer.
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, I respect that you you admitted it early because some people I think are really in denial about being a complainer.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to just be. I respect the hell out of just being a complainer. Yeah.
Just make sure you own it. That's
right.
That's
Yeah.
important.
You do have to pay me every time you do it, but in front of me. But,
I know.
I had to take my daughter to the doctor this morning, and she
God.
has a sty.
Oh my
which
God.
I did call her Forrest Whitaker, but
Jesus Christ.
Damn. Nice though. That's
thanks. I was going to call her John Merrick, but I didn't think she'd
Another
get the
sexy
Elephant
would've
Man
guessed.
reference. And my wife was like, "Oh, that's really funny," and just started showing her pictures of Forrest Whitaker, and I was like, "Well, don't show her pictures."
Yeah, right. How old's your daughter?
She's 10.
Okay.
But we're going this morning, and she's complaining. She's so sad about having a sty, and I was like, "Listen,
So you were a life lesson
I was like, "You
for-
don't get to complain."
Yes, dude. Because I live next to a daycare, and I maybe like 3 months ago was walking down the street, and a mom. I've seen people like kind of gesture to this, but I've never seen it so blatantly. A little kid was like throwing a fit because you know how they love to bitch, and like it was like a 3-year-old just freaking out after being picked up. The mom was walking down the street and trying to do the whole like, look, it's not that bad. And I was on oxygen at the time, on my oxygen tank. And I walked, and the mom is like, look, if this is the worst thing that happens to you today, this is a pretty good day. And I walked by, and she went, see?
And you're welcome.
That's
It was like it felt like a joke I would write to fabricate, and then it really it was like, actually incredible. Yeah.
Well, I think the best comedy has a little tragedy in it, at best,
Big
or
time.
at least some
darkness.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should, I think.
It should.
Although I don't know if that's a bias of mine. Do you, as people who do not have terminal illnesses, do you feel like you enjoy comedy that's dark?
Absolutely.
Overall?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You want something to push the envelope a little bit. It's just,
I mean, I can, like Nate Bargatze or Ryan Hamilton, like I can
Yeah.
fully enjoy what they're talking about.
Yes.
But even like when, they talk about something that's like a little more on edge, you're like, oh, that's pretty enjoyable.
Yes.
That's very funny.
And it's funny you say Ryan Hamilton because I was just in the Boston Comedy Festival and he was like being honored at the festival, at the finals, like the Best of Festival thing I was in. And so he performed. And I just remember going, not that far after him and just feeling like he's so, I don't know, upbeat that I was like, I feel like I'm kind of a bummer right now.
I remember years ago hearing, I think it was Ricky Gervais was interviewing Jim Norton.
Yeah.
And asked Jim Norton, like, who do you dread following?
Sure.
And he's like, Ryan Hamilton.
Interesting.
He's like, I don't want to go up on stage after him ever.
Yeah.
He's like, because he's clean, he kills, and then I go up there and I just look like a little pervert. And,
if you are clean and you can kill, you will work for the rest of your fucking life. And honestly, like, even if you go into rooms where they prefer dark stuff, you do better than someone who's dark going into rooms where they prefer light stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge-
It works one way, but not the other.
Not the other way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yes, I agree. I think that tragedy is like crucial for comedy.
Yeah.
If nothing else, then like as a comparison, right? You have to like see what's dark to see what's light. But I think a lot of people really get into dark comedy now in a way that they think is dark, and I don't know how what you guys think about that, but like people who think something's dark, but it's just sort of there's no punchline.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just bringing up something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're just sort of
Without
like the
any-
punchlines, like the Holocaust. And you're like, good one, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if the
It's a
setup
thinker,
was
yeah.
incredible and that punchline did actually like crush, then good for you. But yeah, I think people just like really want the shock factor, you know?
Yeah, and I think people don't understand how to like hide a punchline sometimes. Like Anthony Jeselnik will like kind of hide his punchline, and you're like, ooh. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, he talked about really dark stuff, but it paid off. You need to pay it off.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that Anthony, Jeselnik's a great example. To still be working as somebody who does one-liners is insane. Because you watch a Jeselnik special and it's an hour, and by the end you're like such whiplash. Like you're kind of exhausted, but I think in like a really good way. Like he's kind of an actual genius, I think.
Right. Yeah. Because he told you 300 jokes in an hour, and you were like, how did you write that many jokes?
Right. And then you have storytelling. You have like Mulaney, who's such a storytelling comic. Right. You're like, Mulaney maybe covered 3 topics in an hour,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Your parents, how do they feel about this whole comedy?
Do they know?
Do they?
Have you broke it to them?
I haven't come out to them yet. It's June, so I'm hoping they'll be accepting. So my mom is like very, very funny. She's not a comedian, but she's very, she loves dark humor. Growing up, we listened to a lot of, instead of listening to music in the car, she always listened to comedy CDs. So like that was my first experience with comedy growing up, was like, we would like memorize, like how you'd like sing along to music. We would speak along to these albums.
Nice.
Like, you know, I like definitely like my first time ever doing comedy was like, I had memorized like Mike Birbiglia's like first one-off special when he was like, I don't know, 30 something, and would like perform, you know, do it for adults when I was a kid and stuff. And I remember my mom would play, because my parents were divorced, and my mom would like play us these albums on the drive to my dad's, which was like hours long, and then I'd get there and then I'd be repeating back the jokes, and he like didn't love it. He was like, why is she talking about her bitch wife?
Did she get a wife?
Yeah, right.
What's going on in that house?
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, why does she know what an 8-ball is? My dad is funny in his own way, but like, yeah, my mom always had a very good, like, I don't think I've ever seen a moment that my mom like thought something was too far to joke about, you know?
Right. She doesn't say, do you have to talk about that?
Yeah,
she doesn't
no.
give you any guilt.
That's great.
No, it is great. It's really lucky. I wouldn't be, it's not like she at all modeled the way of show business. It's not like she's in the industry, but I definitely would not be a comedian if she weren't so willing to laugh at everything. Which I'm sure, you know, I always think of like, oh, my life's so sad. And it's like, I'm her daughter, so that's pretty much a big bummer for her too. So,
But is that like a hidden goal, like if you can make your mom laugh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a really good point. Yeah, when sometimes I make jokes that, I have this clip on my Instagram where like I made a joke that I guess everyone else thought was too far in the audience. And it was about my mom, and my mom was in the audience. So I was stopped and I was like, Mom, did you like that joke? And she was cracking up. She was like, I loved it. And I was like, yeah, so all of you get the fuck over yourselves, dude. Why are you offended for a hypothetical person? Yeah, so she's a really good audience member, and really, really loves comedy. Always went and saw, for Christmas gifts, it was always like tickets to go see comedy together, even when we were kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Is there something that's too far for her?
Oh, I'd love to find it. I'll let you know.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said something that she did the whole like, come on. But I mean, the day is young. It's only noon.
See what you do.
I was planning on writing the rest of the day.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
How about relationships?
Yeah, so relationships so I was in like a very long relationship until not too long ago, which was, I mean, I think tough. I imagine very tough for him, like, and also, you know, tough for me as well. But like, he was like my caretaker because we had lived together and stuff. So he had to be like legally assigned as my caretaker and stuff. So like when I got, you know, early on for the COVID vaccine, so did he and all of this. And he was like definitely a very type A organized personality. So I think he like very much didn't enjoy the sickness part, but like, you know, was happy to like make systems.
Gave him something to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, right, exactly.
He's like, I have great lists and charts.
Yes,
and
right, yeah.
Everything's laminated and ready to go.
Totally, yeah. He very much like enjoyed the structure and the like linearness of medicine and like routine, which is not something I do well. Like now that I live alone again, I definitely have been really sick this year because I've been like, I have not been taking my meds the way I should be. But yeah, and I think like I've never dated someone who didn't know, obviously, that I have this disease.
Be a weird thing to hide.
Be crazy, right? Yeah, I know. Like in that movie, A Walk to Remember, and she doesn't tell him until they've like been dating. For the theater of it all, yeah. Like yeah, so I think with dating also, now that I'm a comic full time, and so when you date now, I think like everybody Googles everyone, right? Like,
oh yeah.
So
you know
I don't,
everything.
I don't even really get the luxury of ever telling anyone, like telling
they already
people
know.
about my
They already
disease.
know, yeah.
Like other than when I'm on stage, I can't remember the last time I like sat and like got to be the first person to tell somebody that I have a disease. You know, it's like they are aware. So especially when dating, I think people just like look everyone up. I truly considered when I first like got back out there and started dating again, like considered using like a fake name, like a fake first name. Cause I was just like, I don't know how, and not that I'm famous by any means, but like, I don't know how anybody in the public eye who has like, you know, press about them and stuff, when you Google them, how do you like just be treated without people knowing all your
shit already?
Shit. I mean, I guess it's on me for telling everyone all my shit on camera. And
Kind of your thing.
I mean,
I'm a victim here. Yeah.
Comedians have groupies, and I'm sure a lot of comedians get laid out there, you know, on the road.
Chuckle fuckers is what they call them.
Chuckle fuckers, yeah. But you get
which,
like,
by the way, if
fetish-
you ever open a club, Chuckle Fuckers
Chuckle
is
Fuckers
such a
is
great name.
Hilarious. It's a comedy club / strip club. Are we doing this?
Yeah, I think we can make that happen. We can make that happen.
This is huge.
I can probably go into GoDaddy right now.
Right now,
yeah.
make sure Chuckle Fuckers is
Chucklefuckers.
Yeah, right. Yeah. .edu, please.
.edu is available.
Yeah.
But do you get any kind of like just you could tell like that he's a creeper and he's just like wants to get with the dying girl
all the time? It's crazy.
Really? Wow.
It's I don't know if it is it's hard to say if it's the.
Is there a name
aspect.
for that too?
No. We should. If you have anything.
Yeah. Because we could open an award.
Right, everyone sit in silence for 10 minutes. Stop. We come up with the best joke. We could have an award.
tonight in bed. I'll just yell out at my wife.
Right. Yeah. Text me.
You have Death Stalkers. I don't know.
Any listeners, please email whatever's the email here. I'd love to think
in
of
the
something.
comments.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Come on.
People. Which is funny because I think people ask me a lot, like, "Oh, is it hard to date because you're terminally ill?" I'm like, "Have you ever met a man in his 20s and 30s?" Like, as if they don't love. They love a short-term commitment. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's just like
yes.
They're like, so there's an expiration date on
without
this.
a doubt.
This is ideal. Yeah. Like, and even my ex who I was with, you know, who I'm still on great terms with and was with for many years, like he used to like, as a joke, would call me his first wife to people. He was like, "This is my first wife, Kirsten." Because it was like, but he's going to have a life after me, you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it is kind of, it's almost like that Seinfeld thing where George had the picture of the model and he's like, "Oh, this is my ex." And then he had to say, I mean,
yeah, and I can't say I don't like get the appeal a little bit. It's like to have like a guaranteed like, you know, hook up with someone, date someone, whatever it is you're looking for, and then just know like there will be no hard feelings and you're not going to be like, you know, no, they're not going to come to get you later. They're not going to leak your dick pics later because they're dead. Yeah.
Although that would be funny instead of like pictures of you at the funeral on a poster board, just all the dick pics you've been sent.
Unsolicited. Yeah, well, that's actually how you reached out to me via Instagram. Remember you sent that dick pic?
Right.
Yeah.
It sent you a picture of his dick, which is weird.
Yeah, I was wondering because it was. Yeah. I thought it was weird that it was black, but
It was black and white. Yes, it was in memorial.
Yeah. Thank you. I definitely do get hit up a lot. Like last night, I was at Furry's. It was the whole front row was was what I could only describe as the cast of the Wolf of Wall Street. It was just like it was 9 to 12 bros.
Oh shit.
All named Brad or Chad, if I had to guess. But
a few Tads in there.
I think a certain percentage for sure. And they all like, you know, and I tried not to talk to them too much while I was up there, but like, you know, of course after the show, it's
like
you
sharks.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not on oxygen right now, so I think that sometimes, like, I think it's interesting when I'm on oxygen, like the different kinds of people approach me, you know? I look the same. It's just the clear tube, but it makes a huge difference apparently. Yeah. With like who approaches and who doesn't. But yeah, bros like that, I think, I don't know if it's just, I was also like one of only 2 girls on the show. There's also not a lot of girls on the show. So you know, usually I'm the only girl on the show. So that might be it too. But people love the, I don't know. I really have not been able to pinpoint what it is, but there's definitely a certain thing where, especially guys who come off with this very finance bro vibe, which is very opposite of my vibe.
Also, they don't seem to take jokes very well if they're directed anywhere towards them, and they can figure out that it is actually directed towards them.
Not in my experience. And that's why I was surprised last night, because I definitely offended a couple of them. But also they were being
Good
annoying.
for you.
Yeah. Just doing the Lord's work out here. Yeah. So yeah, people do definitely come up to you after shows a lot, like trying to sleep with you or like DM you after. But it's an insane, I can't even tell you the percentage. However many it is of like normal single guys approaching me, double it with married men. And it's always like DMs after, being like, wanted to stay and talk to you after the show when my wife was with me, which I'm like,
she didn't appreciate your jokes the way I did.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or your outfit is really what it is. And I always see that when I walk on stage, depending on what I'm wearing, is like, you know, if it's like a married couple, depending on how eager the man is about it, is how uneager the woman is about it, you know, which sucks because like I'm usually trying to win over the girl in the crowd. But married men are, nothing has ever made me want to get married less than becoming a comedian and seeing how many married men reach out.
Out there.
And I turned to 2025. I made it like my new passion is just like exposing married men. Like if you message me and you say something like, keep this in the chat, I will add your wife to the chat. I will literally find your wife and be like, hey, just so that you know, I just want you to get your boy. Have a good day. Yeah. Enjoy. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
Can you get your dog off my lawn,
yeah,
please?
Right.
Thanks.
Now, do you think there's like a just kind of an error that like, you know, funny girls are also easy, or funny girls like it's
because
easy
because
like,
of the subject, you're willing to talk about things.
You're kind of bold and brash, but
that's interesting. I do think that there is a attraction maybe to funny girls because a lot of guys feel like girls. I hear a lot when guys say like, I've never met a girl like you before, meaning like I don't know, I'm maybe a little like edgier seeming, especially if they work in finance. It's likely that they maybe are meeting just a different kind of girl than me. But I feel like I often hear guys say like they've never met a girl like me, and I don't usually take that as a compliment as much as like you need to meet more girls. I don't. Every woman I know fucking rules. Women are so funny, so
funny
cool.
As hell,
Just because they, you know, I think there's also like some psychology maybe about my speaking voice. I feel like because I do kind of have like a bro-y kind of like lower raspy voice, I think like it works well in comedy. And when a girl goes on stage who has maybe like a more traditionally feminine, high-pitched voice, I think people innately, psychologically just aren't as willing to laugh. I think I've seen it a lot. I would love to one day switch jokes with a girl and be like, it's crazy how...
Let's trade material.
I really think it has to do with like the more masculine you come off on stage, the more people are willing to laugh. And so... I've never done any research on that. That's just my working theory. But so I think that when guys say like a lot of girls aren't funny, I'm like, I just don't think you talk to enough girls, or you maybe write them off. Definitely. I think you are more willing to see that I'm funny because I'm holding a microphone and I was introduced as the next comic. Right. But like, I think when you meet girls on the street, you'd be amazed how funny they are. Yeah. So
maybe the room that they're working in isn't
totally.
You guys aren't funny.
Yes. Yeah. And also so true too, because the guys who are attracted to funny girls are often the least funny people I've ever met in my entire life.
I bet you though, a lot of them say like, you know, I'm the funny one in our friend group. So like, I'm pretty funny.
You just, by doing that impression, you just initiated my fight or flight response.
You're welcome.
If I was wearing my Apple Watch, I'd be like, why did your heart rate just go over? Yeah, totally. A lot of guys also like, because I'm on the road a lot as a comic, you know, like I'm based out of Philly, but it's my full-time job, so I have to be out mostly. And when I'm at bars, like when I'm on the road, I have to eat bar, anywhere that has late food. So it's always a bar. And if I'm just writing my notes or something, people are like, what are you writing? You know, they want to create this movie moment. And I always lie about what I do. I won't ever say it, but
You're like, Mein Kampf fan fiction?
Yeah, right.
It's like,
that's on the list. That's good. Yeah. But when I don't, if I don't usually ever tell them the truth, but if I ever do, or if it was like a show that they saw me at, you know, then I get so many people saying like, you know, I've been told I should do stand up. Yeah. That's like the number one. Everyone says I should do stand up. And I always say like, okay, let's hear it.
Yeah,
let's hear it.
Right.
what do you got?
Yeah.
You got a tight set?
You should pull out a microphone. Let's go. Yeah.
You should carry a microphone.
Yeah, and it's always the worst thing you've ever heard in your life. It's tough.
Do you have a tight knit group of friends? Do you have like a nice base of friends that you can turn to? Definitely,
yeah. I have my best friend Savannah is like my best friend in the whole wide world. We have like matching tattoos and stuff. We've been best friends for 15 years now since we were in high school. She is a total badass, funniest person I know. She's just not a comedian, but so funny. And we very much connected because she was really willing to go dark with me very quick.
Yeah, you need that. Yeah, you need that.
Yeah, and my other really good friend, best friend, Jamie Pappas, she's a comic. She and I host a podcast together, the Dying Up Here podcast.
Also very funny.
Thank you. Yeah, we roast each other a lot. That's kind of like what got us big. Is like we're both really into the roast scene. And Jamie and I kind of connected really early on in comedy because her, one morning, her mom went down to like wake her dad up who had fallen asleep on the couch, and he was just dead cold all of a sudden. Shit. And then after the funeral, her mom found out she was pregnant with Jamie. So like her mom, Jamie's dad doesn't even know Jamie exists. Yeah, it's crazy. So Jamie was
funny how he wouldn't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. She's named after him, and so she was kind of born into this world of grief. Like, immediately was born, and she's this like miracle baby, and everybody but she's a kid and everyone's just still crying and telling her about her dad who she never met. And so we met really early on because we both are very accustomed to this, like everyone looking at you like, you poor thing. And so she was really willing to be really mean to me really early on, which is like my love language. It is. Yeah. I never feel further from someone than when they're being really nice to me. But yeah, like when someone is roasting me is when I feel like the closest to people. Yeah, first time we met, we had a show, and I went up, and I was before her, crushed, and then she had to go right on after, and she was like, "Can I wear your tubing?" She was like, "I don't know what else to do." Yeah.
She should have like a Tiny Tim crutch.
Yeah, right. Like, you got it. Yeah. And so she's one of my like tight knit comic friends, but I also like having friends who are not comedians. I mean, I'm sure you guys feel that way, like working in this industry in general. It's like, we can be pretty fucking exhausting.
Sadly, most of our friends came from work. So it's like a lot of, but they're the ones that have, we've shook out a lot of the bullshit. And it's like the ones, and we see each other and it's like we can pick up, and that's the best. And that's why you're friends. Yeah,
and you have to spend a lot of time together in this industry. So it's also tough to make other friends. There's no coincidence that like the other friend I mentioned is from like prior to being a comedian. Because it is tough, I think, now.
Right.
To see and to meet anybody, and same with dating. It's like hard to meet people who are not comics,
Yeah, well, that's kind of your world. I mean, you've made the choice to do that full time, and it's like, well, this is what I'm surrounded by now.
Biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah, it's like we would only date people in production because it was like, we were on set all the time, and it's like,
that's a mistake.
Yeah, and it was always a mistake.
Always a mistake.
Are you guys either of you married?
Yeah, we're both married
to each other.
Yeah. We get that a lot. We get that
a whole lot.
Are your wives in production?
No.
Okay. So you met.
But we dated a lot.
Yeah.
Always ended poorly.
I was going to say it's truly for the best to find people who are not in it at all, but who appreciate and respect it.
Yeah. But back to the friends and being mean, and actually talking about our friends, I'm sure they have one for me. And when writing this, all my little notes, come up with some things. I'm like, no, it's gonna be cool. Yeah. It's like, do you think your friends have like a over and under Deadpool
betting pool? Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Dude, when Deadpool came out, my friends have been joking about that for so long. About like what age. But I passed my life expectancy this year, and so like then thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah, thank you. And so when I turned 30, everyone was like, I just lost 50 bucks. I'm happy for you, but this was not supposed to happen, man. Yeah.
I got a lot of that at my 50th birthday party. Everyone just exchanging money. It's like, shit.
Yeah.
I made that shirt for his 50th birthday.
Yeah.
I said I love this. I kind of want one of those shirts. Actually, did you get it made?
Yeah.
I kinda want one of those.
It was my gift to everyone at the party.
Yeah, he had like $200.
I had
He was like,
Do you have any extras?
I think we might.
We might. I don't.
I
They
think we
might
do.
only
I think we
be.
do.
They might be the wrong size, but we'll look.
I love that because I
Yeah.
only ever wear. If you saw like any of my videos on stuff, I only ever wear horror movie graphic tees on
Yes.
stage. Just a big horror fan, and like so like that's right on brand for that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that.
We'll find one for
Yeah,
you.
we'll definitely
Thank
get
you.
one. We'll get one.
The other thing I thought of, do you get a Make-A-Wish?
Thank you for asking.
I'm sorry to laugh at
Thank you
it.
for asking. No. Well, first of all, thank you for asking. This is my platform that I've been trying to get or buy for a while now, which is the Make Another Wish Foundation for adults who outlived their life expectancy and regret their
I mean,
first
you
wish.
kind of deserve it. Yeah.
Oh, that should totally be a thing.
Thank you. I know I should get a prize for it.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I tried to use my Make-A-Wish to meet Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich from Scream. I'm a diehard horror fan. I have a Scream tattoo, Ghostface tattoo.
Yeah.
And as
I mean, I would want to meet Skeet Ulrich just to meet him.
oh yeah, right. So, yeah. Mhm.
Just to be like, you're a
Poor
shitty
man
Johnny Depp. How's it feel?
Oh, I bet he hates that fucking
Yeah.
joke.
Oh, I know.
But I will use it if I ever meet him.
Yes, please.
Yeah, but I wanted to. I was always watching, horror movies in the hospital because the TV only had so many channels, and
Yeah.
they would make a lot of notes. Because when you're in the children's hospital, like your parents can't come visit you all the time because you're not, unless you happen to live around the corner from the children's hospital. But we lived like an hour or something, and I have a brother, so like my mom had to be home. So the nurses are kind of also like your babysitters.
Right.
So they have to like take notes on your behavior, like a zoo animal, and they would, to report back to my mom. And it was always just like they would come in and be like, I don't think we should be watching this, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, you're not. I hated the word "we." I was like, you're not watching it. I'm watching this, so that's fine. And so like I had a lot of notes in it about that. So by the time I said to my doctors I wanted to meet those two, they were like, we have already been wanting to talk to you about this. Like we need you to. We should start watching stuff that's more age appropriate. Because I was like, I don't know, maybe 9 or something. So they were like, let's think about some other ideas. So like they, not like the Make-A-Wish Foundation said no, but like the doctors were like, no. And I should have just said I wanted to meet Matthew Lillard because of Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
I didn't even fucking
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it. Because I didn't watch a lot of kid stuff as a kid. I watch it now as an adult, but like, I just wanted to meet them so bad. But I did meet Matt Lillard not too long ago at a horror convention, and he was awesome. I told him that whole story, and he rules. Yeah. But I really, really, that was my Make-A-Wish. And then when they said no, I was like, well, then fuck them. I'm not even gonna make any wish.
Yeah. No wish.
That'll show them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then my other twisted thought was that I know you're huge Eagles fans. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
It's like to make a wish to like maybe get with one of the Eagles, a single eagle.
Funny you
Like
said
a
single
date
eagle.
night
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
It's a big difference. Yeah.
Funny you say that because I know a lot of them are just in open relationships in general because they're always on the road.
Do their
Yeah.
girlfriends know?
I have friends who have been like, great, let's FaceTime your wife then, and you can prove it. Yeah, yeah. No, oh, totally. I mean, I would throw it all away for Jalen Hurts. Like, there's all respect
nice.
to
Yeah,
his
yeah,
now
yeah.
wife.
Now wife.
Now wife.
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
but respect. I would also throw it all away for his wife. She's
Yeah.
so hot. Yeah, it's dream threesome for sure. That was the question, right? Dream threesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
yeah. That was my Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish. Then I thought it's like more funny than that's your Make-A-Wish is the PR behind it. You know, the photo
my
shoot
God.
and like the
That is
because everything
so
is all a PR
funny, yeah.
thing. It's like and then you
That's
go into the bedroom.
so funny. Yeah, bye guys.
But I'm still thinking about like it's the hospital bed with like
Yeah, yeah.
rails and it's like and there's balloons.
Yeah. This is a curtain.
That's
That's so funny. Oh man.
I had so much fun prepping for you.
Oh, thank you. This is great.
he over prepares and
Yeah.
I very much under prepare.
Yeah.
And it's not for any reason besides being lazy.
Sure,
But he was
yeah.
like, I am so excited about what I prepared. I was like, okay,
These are
this
great
is
questions.
different.
Seriously, these are great questions. Like I said, I can't stand when I do any sort of interview and people tiptoe around questions. So yeah, and they don't even start. They're like, so what's a lot of your comedy about? They're like, say the illness. Like
We don't want to
say
say
yeah, like
Yeah.
is it are we alled to say it? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're into Deadpools and
yeah.
Make-A-Wish and
Yes.
banging eagles.
And that fucking shirt, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I came in hard. Yeah.
Also, though, another one, and this is, I think, probably just I'm sure my psychologist could have a field day with this in terms of like crippling daddy issues, but like Nick Sirianni, oh my God, he is like so hot. I don't know what it is. I think it's because
at least she didn't
He's
say
a little insane.
He's off, yeah.
He's crazy. Like,
Oh, is your father crazy?
No, what'd you say?
Is your father crazy too?
He's kind of crazy too,
He's a
but
little
he's
off, yeah.
not Nick Sirianni crazy. My dad's more like crazy and like my dad's like in the top. My dad is like in the top 1% of gamblers in the entire world. My dad is like a degenerate gambler. And like I was like, when he had custody of us, we lived in the casinos as a kid. Wow. My dad is like a total wild card. He's the reason I'm a comedian in a different way. Like he's what?
There we go.
Never a dull moment.
good.
Yeah. Never a dull moment. But Nick Sirianni's crazy in the mean way. Like that I said, I love the, I just feel like he'd really hurt my feelings in a way I would really love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you don't know what's coming out of his mouth.
No,
Right.
neither does he. Is the beauty of it.
Right, yeah.
His
He's not sure.
press conferences are wonderful.
Yeah.
They are hilarious.
But I mean, after 14 years of Andy Reid, I mean, it was like
Sure.
we deserve this.
We deserve a fuckable coach.
Yeah,
That's,
we deserve
that's my motto.
the pendulum swing. Yeah. He's like, I care about my kids.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Andy Reid's like, I care about Tom Brady. I care about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. If we ever met Andy Reid, we'd be like, how are the kids?
Yeah, dude, I would love to hear the answer.
No. It's like, go make another Chicken McNugget commercial, or whatever.
Thank you for
Yeah.
I can't believe you just said that. That commercial, I talk about that commercial like once a week and no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Where he goes like this with his fingers.
Dude, it's like, that's
Have
crazy.
some self-respect, man.
It's such secondhand embarrassment. I like couldn't believe. And when you Google his name, I Googled his name, Andy Reid, and then the letter N, and it says Nuggies. Like the first thing.
Holy sweet Jesus.
Dude, the first year with the Chiefs, when he was like, I'm going to wear a giant red shirt with my giant red head, I was like, somebody's got to tell him about this. This is a tough look.
He's not PR trained in his shows. Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do for the Super Bowl?
What did I do for the Super Bowl? So
Was there any...
Yeah, so I would say like I have a lot of trouble with like really large crowds like on the street. Like I don't love that.
Yeah.
So Super Bowl like for the actual like watched it at my mom's super like
family.
crazy fun.
Yeah.
But didn't like storm the street. But
Right.
leading up, as long as I feel like it's still not going crazy, like I always go out for the game because I just feel like I'm ruining someone's house when I'm in there. Like I'm too, the energy's like, I can't be contained. I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I get really into it. So I like going to bars where other people are, like I go to, if I go to, I don't know, Jose Pistola's or something, like I'm never the craziest one there. Yeah.
Right. So it's nice. It tempers you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But I definitely lost my fucking mind. My dopamine has never been that high in my life. Yeah. I just, you guys Birds fans? I take it. Yeah.
Did your father have money on the game?
So, that's a great. I'm sure he definitely did. He sent me his parlay, so that if I wanted to, I could go in on it with him, and then we could celebrate together. He only just started sports betting. He's always just been like a casino person, but I do like sports betting. Like I do think it's fun. I think I care about it more than casino. I've never been able to hold my attention too hard at casino stuff.
Right.
But sports betting, I feel like I can make some educated.
Well, I think
moves.
sports betting used to be so dangerous that it was, like some of the fun's taken out of it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like the fun of it was kind of like this. You have to go meet.
Yeah, you got to meet Tony in the back.
The first office we had, our rent was very, very cheap, and our landlord was like, well, I'll give you this deal, but Sid has to be able to walk through the office anytime. And Sid was the bookie who rented the basement.
And we had.
Did he wear those green brim hats?
No, his cover. He was a cleaner. He had a van that said cleaner.
It said Abrams Laundry.
He said, "Bring me your shirts because I need shirts." He just brings
To
it to another
pretend
place.
yeah.
And like it would be a card table with cash
And a phone.
and he said like we'd be in a conference. He had to walk through our conference room. So at any given time, we were like, and we would never say who he was.
Sure.
And he was like this little
70-year-old Jewish guy.
Yeah. Walk through, and people are like, you're not going to explain the, Albert Einstein that just walked by. We're like,
that's okay. My first thoughts as a comedian, and it's hard to turn it off sometimes. The observation break. His name being Sid, I couldn't have
Sid.
written that better. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so, because like,
Perfect.
yeah, if you go with something that's too Italian sounding, then, you know, it can be a little hack. Sid is like perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
unassuming.
yeah,
Little
yeah.
dude.
We all know a Sid all of a
Yeah.
sudden. Like, I
Right.
don't know a real
Yeah.
Sid, but like, I feel like I know
Yeah.
who Sid is. And so funny that he's like openly telling people, like, I need shirts to pretend that this
Yeah.
is my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that he also loan sharked and that his company was called Abrams Laundry.
No.
And it was just like, yeah.
Yeah. So he laundered.
Yeah,
his
he
own
laundered money.
Do you think he made, like, do you think he did really well for himself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
He
guess
came,
if you're
he came to
lucky.
one of our Christmas parties in a mink coat. So it
Yeah.
was like,
No, what a power move.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Looking like a billionaire's wife. so
And
badass.
I think if he was 5'7", he was 6 foot tall. You know,
Sure,
he was
yeah,
like
yeah.
tiny
yeah.
dude.
That's, yeah. No, my dad
He
is
was
that
great.
same energy. Yeah.
He wouldn't allow us to.
He wouldn't
bet.
ta- he wouldn't let us
take a
bet.
bet. He's like, you don't do it. Don't ever.
That's very cool of him.
Yeah.
I respect that.
But the
Look
guys
out for
upstairs he didn't respect, and he would take their
Take
money
all their money. It was
every week.
Yeah,
ruin
and they were like
lives.
DJ recorders.
Yeah, and
So
he was
it's
like, they're losers.
Yeah.
He's like, I never had to pay them.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's seen it ruin some fucking lives, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like that growing up in casinos, like, oh, you know, my brother and I walk into casinos and it like smells like how people talk about their childhood home. I'm like,
it's
this is
home.
what I associate with being a kid was just like, you know, and my dad never like watched us because there's like adults everywhere theoretically, you know. But it was just seeing the amount of like anger that would come. Like you'd see somebody who was like happy, and then all of a sudden like
Yeah.
they, you know, and it was like
Turn on a dime.
I didn't know really what money meant as a kid. Of course, like I had no sense of
Yeah.
it, but
Chips.
yeah, right. And the chips thing's kind of fucking genius. Like to not make it money, you know.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, so I think like seeing that shit, I was like, oh, I can see how this absolutely ruins lives, and it starts to put together a lot of my dad's mood changes while we were there. You know, like him being like the happiest you've ever seen, and just
Yeah.
like we're buying this, and then like I gotta cancel that purchase before it gets here. Yeah.
That's, you know what though, that you grew up in a very particular way, and it's going to keep you honest.
For sure. Oh, for sure. Like I never, I mean, because you know, it's like you definitely can inherit having a gambling addiction, or I think having an addiction
Having an addictive
personality in
personality,
general. And like, you know, my brother goes on a lot of like bachelor parties. His name is Brad. It's his given Christian name. So he goes on a lot of bachelor parties. It's his full-time job. And he does go to the casino more than me, but he has more money, you know? So I'm always like, who's to say? Maybe I could in another life have been a gambling addict if I was rich, but you have to have the funds to do it, I think, at least to start. But I've never found it that, I don't know, I never found it that interesting. I think sports betting's more fun, but I can't like sit at a table for that. Maybe blackjack, but I can't sit at a like a slot machine for that long.
and just sit there.
No.
It's just the same money back up and down, you know. But I can see if I was not betting 5 cents each hit and I was betting $50, if the
Right,
stakes
that's a
would be
little
so
bit more.
high.
Yeah, when you change the stakes, it changes the energy.
Yeah. I do love the drama of it all. Yeah.
This all started with the Eagles. I had another
Sorry.
thought, and since you've passed your life expectancy, you should be like a motivational speaker for this season to the Eagles to get one more. You want one more,
That's
right?
hilarious. We
I'm
should
on
do
borrowed
that.
time.
Oh my God!
Come on,
Yes,
Jalen
that's
Hurts.
so funny. You're right. I want another one.
We're
want
willing
another
to help
one.
you with this
We
one because
should.
I like it a
we're-
lot.
We're gonna.
We really should,
I
because
do.
I would love to use my disease for good to guilt people into winning things for my benefit. You know, yeah.
What's the point of
all
having a
it-
disease if you
Thank
can't make
you.
people feel bad about
Although,
it?
do we think that if I do a campaign and they get all in on it, that I'm not allowed to bet on the Super Bowl because it's like a conflict of interest? You know, like, am I?
Well, you're not, but
Yeah, right.
Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah, that's a great idea, though. I definitely should. No, I would love to. I do so many jokes about the Eagles and Philly sports. Like, no matter whatever city in the country I'm in,
Oh, yeah.
everybody is like, "You're the girl from Philly." Like, even before they associate me with my disease, they say like, "Oh, you're the Go Birds girl," right? And so I'm like, it is upsetting that I don't work with the Eagles ever.
Yeah.
Like I would.
We
yeah.
got to make that happen.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but it's funny.
behind this,
We
yeah.
did
I like
a
it.
whole episode of sports villains because we were trying
Yeah.
to find something different to talk about.
Sure.
But Philadelphia is a sports villain.
Amen.
It's like outside of Philly,
It's like
fucking
we
hate
were
us.
underdogs against the Patriots, and we won, and now we're villains. So
Well, the thing is, I almost have a little bit of empathy for them because, like I said, I was just in Boston, and they don't like when I say go Birds. And frankly, if I got beaten with a backup quarterback, 41-33 on my own Hail Mary, I might also be fucking embarrassed, frankly. I might also hang my head in shame. Yeah. But I do think it's funny to hear coming from a team that has literally had it all. Like, the definition of, like, the personification of, like, the billionaire who has everything and then loses, like, a girl rejects them and they're like, this is an injustice. And you're like, bro, you have everything.
But can you imagine growing, like, you're 24 and in New England and you're like, how do I live with being a loser now?
Yes, they had never experienced it. Yeah,
never experienced it.
Yeah,
never experienced it.
My brother Brad was living he used to live in Salem, Mass, briefly, and he said he was living there during the Super Bowl. Yeah. He was living there. He's
a warlock, technically.
He is. Yeah, right. Be respectful. Yeah. He was living there during the Super Bowl and he was watching it at a bar and he said like he didn't even wear he like wore like a black eagle with the Eagles logo, but he didn't wear like a green anything. Right. Yeah. He was like, because they are such sore losers.
Oof. Yeah.
And I will say about us to our like to our what's the term I'm looking for? Holy shit.
Detriment?
No, the opposite.
Good stuff?
To our benefit? Take that back and make it look like I thought it was
and cut.
To our benefit, I would say that we have the thing where we at least have always lost. So like we are really, the win means a lot. And we are never sore losers about it when we do lose. Like, and I hope we never get to that point.
It's a terrible 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then it's like, all right, fine.
Yeah. And like we're sore losers in the way we have been even when we had never won a Super Bowl in our lives. But like I hope we never get that way. Like I mean, Saquon is obviously the best thing that ever happened to us, but also it's like I can see maybe people who are younger now, if this is the franchise they grow up with, thinking turning into like what the Patriots fans were. You know?
It could happen easily.
And I hope so. But
the best thing with Saquon is it was double. We get the Super Bowl, we had the best season ever, and we get a big fuck you to the Giants.
And I put Saquon on in 2018 when he was first drafted to the Giants. I had him for 3 years running on my fantasy league, and I thought and I used him for first draft pick. I was like, this dude is going to change my life. Everything's going to change now that I got Saquon. And then they didn't use him. So it was like also I think cool to see him flourishing and how happy he is.
Yeah, he's such a seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
Do you have any gigs to plug? Do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about?
In 2 weeks.
In July, I have a lot going on, actually.
All right.
In Philly, I am, if you live in the Philly suburbs, I am headlining a show in Skippack on the 15th. All of this is on my social media.
Yes.
I'm going to be at Helium on the 16th of July.
Okay.
All right.
I am going to be headlining at Next in Line Comedy Club, which if you have never been to or heard of, highly recommend. We only have 3 comedy clubs in Philly. We have Punchline, Helium, and Next in Line. Punchline and Helium are both corporate. Next in Line is independently owned and rules. I'm going to be headlining a show that they're titling Kirsten and Friends until we can come up with a better title.
When's that?
That's going to be on the 18th, Friday, the 18th of July. So everyone please come out to prove to them that I sell tickets. I do have a busy July. Yep. Yeah. So that'll be really fun. And then on July 24th, I am running a show that I am running. It was my idea. Called, what'd you say?
Curating.
Yeah, curating, exactly. I thought you said curating, and I was like, thank you.
Come on.
On the 24th at SOULJOE'S in the suburbs. And it's going to be, it's like, the show Hot Ones. Like the wing eating show. It's like Hot Ones. This was like a concept I came up with when I was high. But it's like, it's called Hot Sets, like, which is what you say when someone had a good set, a hot set. So the comics can choose to either have a hot set by eating like really hot wings during their whole set, and they can't like wipe their face or anything, or cry,
or use their hands,
or cry, or they could choose to have a hot set by doing the show in their underwear. As host, I will be doing both in solidarity. So this is what I came up with when I was high. So that'll be at SOULJOE'S on the 24th. Please come
And you got
out.
people to do it.
Yes, I got people to do it. Yeah. I got people to do it. And if nothing else, and if you just want to come to see me eat wings in my underwear, then I will take that money easily. Yeah.
Well, I'll be there for the
for
the fat white men in their underwear.
Right. Yeah. So thank you for asking. I do have a lot coming up in July.
Sweet. And we'll post all this and we'll put on our info.
So what's the next big thing that you want to get to accomplish? Being that you're on a finite timeline and, we gotta...
Clock is ticking.
Okay, Mom. It's a good question. I definitely like my next step career-wise is getting into like the late night circuit. As like a comic, doing more of those. I really want to do. My goal for this year was to do more stuff where I'm in rooms with people who are more important than me. I'm one of the few comics in Philly who like this is my full-time job, which is great, and I do a lot of shows in Philly, but like there's only so much you can do in one city, right? So like I would love to start going places where I'm like the smallest thing on the totem pole, and around a lot of people I feel like I can really grow from, So that's kind of my goal for this year, was just to like be around people who are better than me. And not that I'm not in Philly, there's a lot of people who are better than me still, but we all have each other's sets memorized because there's only so many, right?
Right.
So that's my goal for this year. So doing stuff like late night shows is kind of like next on the docket with me and my manager. And I've been working on selling a series, selling a sitcom that I've been working on for a couple years. So nice. I think I just want to go be around people who I'm like starstruck by. I think that's like a cool. That's how you get better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how you elevate.
Yeah. I mean, try not to get starstruck by Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I were around Jimmy Fallon, I might pass out. I just love Jimmy Fallon. I grew up really loving him when I was a kid. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, grew up really loving him. He's very, very formative, like reason I got into comedy, because like his show's on late at night, and when you're sick, like you're up all night.
Right.
So I watched it a lot as a kid. And I was like, I was obsessed with him in a way that like will be studied by future historians. Like my name on social media was like Kirsten Fallon. Like when I was
so he
13.
should be worried.
Yeah, he should be worried. Yeah.
We should make a clip of this just for you, and we just post it all the time. Tag him.
Yep, make sure that he knows. Yeah, he knows. I think that we have a good rapport now, theoretically, that we're both adults in the same field. So I would hope, but and I respect his wife and all of that. But he's I went and saw him live when I was 14, and I got a fake ID to make myself 17 so I could go see the live taping of Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Wow. First of all, didn't know you had to be 17, but
that's weird.
Yeah.
I guess I don't want
fake ID story though.
Yeah. Super cool. Yeah. No one in school made fun of me for that. Yeah.
I just got a fake ID to say I'm 40.
Yeah, right.
Bring myself down.
Bring it down. All right.
Nice.
We always end with a couple stupid things.
Great.
One that he hates.
I didn't say I hated it.
No. Desert Island. You get to take movie, album, TV series, one of each.
Scream from 1996, the original.
Makes sense.
Boom.
What was the next one? Album. The Stranger, Billy Joel. And what was the last one? Sorry?
TV series. You watch all the time.
Yeah, I think I would probably have to go with maybe Parks and Rec, maybe The Office or Parks and Rec. Those are two shows that I think I do think I have memorized. Like in terms of like watch. I'm sick a lot. I watch a lot of TV, but those are two that I let's go with The Office.
U.S. Office.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Office.
U.S. Office. Yeah.
US
Mm-hmm.
Office.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. When we ask people, it takes them forever. It's like this
what
isn't written in stone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people are worried about the brand, so they're like, "How do I want to portray myself?"
Yeah. I also feel like I am maybe notably as an adult a little too into like I have a lot of like passions in a way that I feel like when you're an adult, you're like, yeah, I liked that movie. I'm like, that movie's my fucking life. Like
you love too intensely.
I love so intense. I burn bright and fast. So the things that I love,
Yeah, you're like the guy from Of Mice and Men.
Oh my God! Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna pet you and stroke you.
Yeah.
The other we do, if there's a biopic made of you, who is starring as you?
Okay, so the two people that I get all the time, but the one that I've been getting my whole fucking life is Aubrey Plaza. Everyone says I remind them a lot of her looks wise.
Right.
But I also get I perform at colleges a lot as a comic, and the kids will like tell me people that they think I look like. I don't know why they feel that's notable to message me afterwards. Everyone tells me like I always get Emmy Rossum, the girl from Shameless.
Oh
yeah.
They always everyone tells me I look
like
her.
that.
I sound like her maybe.
You do have that same tone. Yeah.
She's kind of like a little like rough around the edges. She's a badass. But I would say probably Aubrey Plaza. I mean, she's a little older than me. I think it worked more when we were both like in our teens. But she's probably the one. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have someone in mind for me?
No.
No.
Why do people keep asking
Yeah,
that?
give her your answer.
Yeah.
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. I don't have what it takes to let Viola Davis play me.
She has range, man.
She would give me more
She could
depth
play
than
it.
I've ever had in my life. Yeah.
No, that was the last time they were like, "Oh, well, who do you think would play?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't. Viola Davis, I guess."
Forgive me if you guys answer this. Do you have answers for yourself about that? Who would play?
Kenny Loggins and
Kenny Rogers. Yeah.
We're gonna call ourselves the Kennys.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I think Ralph Macchio could pull me off.
Sure.
And I think that Steve Buscemi could pull me off.
I think Adam Scott could pull you off too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. From not that I watched Severance, but I know he's on it. But he's on Parks and Rec too.
I would hope that Justin Theroux would be cast as me because we both like our pants very tight.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
And I think he'd really like me if we became friends.
He
Yeah.
thinks that's
what
his
grounds?
celebrity friend.
I just
I have that
I kind of
too.
wish he would like me.
I call it. Do you know what an emotional support fact is? It's like when
No.
you like. It's probably not true, but like you choose to live in a world where it's true.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you-
yeah.
oh,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I would-
A lot of those.
Yeah, the joke I make on stage a lot is that like everyone has one universal emotional support fact, which is that if you're a cop legally, you have to tell us. Like that's not true. We know it's not true, but we all are just like, I am banking on that alone. And I think a lot of people, when I ask them that, they say like it's that blank celebrity and I would be friends. Tom Hanks, I think, is like I don't even want to Google to know if it's not true that Tom Hanks is great because I want it to be just my emotional support fact. Yeah. So yeah, you and Justin Theroux, that's great.
Yeah, we'd be friends. Yeah.
Maybe someone could write some fan fiction about that for you.
Maybe
don't
I
know,
should
kinda-
write some fan fiction about it.
Or bring what you've already written to life.
Yeah.
It's like I might have written
Maybe
a
I
few
just
things.
cross out Dear Diary.
Yeah, right, yeah. Bring it to the table. We'll workshop it.
Or maybe next time somebody asks you at a bar, "What are you writing?" Be
Yeah.
like, "Just throw fan fiction." It's for a friend.
Yeah, it's for a friend. That's even better.
Oh man.
Well,
Great.
thank you for taking the time. We were, I like I said, I was so excited when you were like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I'll do it."
Hell yeah.
Dude,
thank
I
you,
was
dude.
so excited when you said yes. I was like, "Oh, thank God!" I was like, "This is perfect."
Oh, dude, this
And
rules.
we've had musicians and we've had other podcasters. It's like you're our first comedian,
Oh my God, amazing.
and we are so happy.
Yeah.
so happy you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. This ruled. This is a great. I love that you do little games at the end. I'm a slut for games. Like I love this kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is great. This is really fun.
We'll be your wish makers.
Thank you. Oh my God, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, making dreams come true.
Yeah, I mean the thing is the number one Make-A-Wish. Do you know what the number one used Make-A-Wish is?
Disney.
No. Okay, Disney. Sorry. In
shit.
terms of meeting a person, do you know who it is?
no.
Okay.
Is it always one person?
It's the
That's
same
one
person
Taylor
that
Swift.
is the most commonly used significantly over anyone else, which is John Cena. I
Nah, what?
I can see it. I can see it.
if you
Yeah.
Cena.
at comedy shows, people mention it a lot. I don't know why. It's like a common punchline, but it's true. And when people find out that I'm terminally ill, they say, "Have you met John Cena?" Like,
First of all, that's really funny
That's
joke.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Whether
Great
they mean
intro.
it or not as
Yeah.
a joke. But
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
I mean, when you want him
Oh.
to come dressed as Peacemaker,
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
Peacemaker.
It's like I think it's
Peacemaker
because
is brilliant.
kids, because it's Make-A-Wish for
wrestling.
kids,
Yeah.
right? Mostly.
Yeah,
And so like
yeah.
little kids, I think really like him. Now he's in all these movies. He's obviously
Right.
very famous. All of that. So I think he. I don't know what it is, but he maybe he accepts the most, but he is significantly the most used Make-A-Wish. And I know this because
Wow.
I'm told this constantly.
Wow.
because they're constantly pushing John Cena on you.
Yeah, right. yeah. What was
I
John
don't
Cena
want to
like?
meet him.
Like, just shake his goddamn hand.
Right,
Come
yeah.
on.
What was he like? Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
okay. All right,
Mm.
John Cena.
I have a theory, and I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Really? I can't wait.
No,
Okay, you can't just not.
Yeah.
If this is the last
well, I
conversation
think
we had before
I think it
die,
is the wrestling,
Yeah.
and I think who watches wrestling is mainly the middle of the country, and I don't want to say white trash,
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
and who has poor health.
Jesus
Well, I
Christ.
mean,
You're
I'm sorry that
No.
those all connected. That's why I
You're
didn't
not-
want to say it.
I
You're
mean, the
not
river was
wrong.
poisoned. It's
You're not. I absolutely get what you're thinking, and also
I'm digging down to the why.
that's why we
John
have this
Cena.
podcast, right? It's
Yeah.
it's a
kind
safe,
of the
it's a
only
safe
ones,
place.
only ones putting truth to power anymore. Yeah, no, honestly, that's a really interesting theory because I know there has to be something behind the John Cena thing. There has to be. It has to be either. I don't know if it's like just that maybe there's more terminally ill boys than girls. Like there's got to be some science behind
There
why
is.
it's
There
John
has-
Cena.
Yeah.
Join us next week on Freakonomics. I mean, that's really what we've now become, is figuring out how John Cena is number one amongst dying children.
He knows, yeah. I mean, well, also what's the joke that a lot of comics make, it's kind of hack, but is like that, is like the joke that like therefore John Cena is technically a serial killer because he's often like the like he's death, he's the Grim Reaper.
Hearing
like,
it for the first time.
Right. It's like how many kids have died shortly after meeting John. John Cena's always at the crime scene.
Right. Yeah. But it's how he makes most of his money.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I don't know if he ever went to like, because I think when you do Make-A-Wish, I don't think it's like they just come visit you in the hospital, right? I think you like go do something with them.
Oh yeah.
Oh really? He can't just show up and do like 10 Make-A-Wishes all in the same day.
I don't think so, because I think like
Welcome to the John Cena Award.
Wow. That'd be crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, because I know like at CHOP, I didn't go to CHOP. I wasn't lucky enough to be a CHOP kid. They were the rich ones, but yeah.
See?
Yeah, wanted to be. But they definitely always had celebrities coming through. But I don't think they were Make-A-Wishes. I think they were just guest appearances.
Yeah,
just good press. They just fucked up, so now they have to
right.
go in there.
Yeah, it's like
Something bad was
anytime my daughter had an appointment at CHOP, I was like, this place is a fucking bummer.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Like, we're going to the eye doctor because she needs glasses, and it was like, man, everyone else here
it's
is
a bummer.
A drag.
It is. Amen. And that's why it's, I mean, tough crowd growing up being a comedian, but but also CHOP, they were the kids who everyone wanted to be at CHOP. They have a Wawa there, dude.
Holy man, I didn't realize there was a hierarchy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's no St. Jude's kid,
but it's like the rich kids at school.
Yeah, right. I was never gonna be that. Yeah. CHOP was.
You're always gonna date the CHOP girl.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, this has actually gotten worse. So.
Yeah. Let's go while we're ahead.
The wheels have fallen off.
Yeah, this is getting darker. So
we should say we love sick kids and we support them.
And
go Birds.
Go Birds.